Let me guess. You're eating clean, you're working out, you're doing all the things, but the scale won't budge or the inches just won't drop. If you're over 30 and you're wondering like, why does this feel impossible now to lose fat? This video is going to explain what's really going on and how to fix it. Hey you guys, it is Coach Tay, your friendly neighborhood metabolic fat loss coach, here to help you and other women finally understand their bodies and lose fat without crazy restrictions or the yo-yo dieting. Today we're going to talk about the top reasons why fat loss gets harder after 30 and why those old tricks they ain't working like they used to. You already know what time it is. Let's get into it. First things first, what the heck changed in your 30s? Why does it feel like your body literally hates you and it's working against you? You already know I'm about to say hormones. Usually people are throwing the word hormones around all willy-nilly, so I'm gonna tell you exactly what's happening to exactly which hormones. The three main hormones that are affected is estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. Estrogen is our first hormone up. It starts to decline at around your 30s, and it doesn't take a gradual, safe, calm decline. No. When the booty go up, down, I ain't got a problem spending all of my money. And eventually it goes lower. So over here around your 20s, it's usually higher, and then going into your late 30s to 40s, it's going up and down all over the place. And then when you get to your 50s, 60s, then it's inevitably lower than it's ever been in your lifetime. So symptoms to low estrogen include, but are not limited to, irregular periods, tender breast, good old mood swings, and guess what the last one is? Guess. Take a guess. Weight gain, mostly in the hips, thighs, and I'm gonna let y'all guess the last area. Belly fat. As your estrogens go lower, it's expected for you to start to hold on to more fat. So you're going to have to take some different strategies than just cutting some calories and having a little extra time on the treadmill. Let's move on to the next victim, progesterone. So progesterone can actually drop even faster than estrogen. Yay! And what really sucks about progesterone dropping even faster than estrogen is the fact that progesterone is responsible for us being calm and for our hormones being balanced. No wonder once we get to our 40s and 50s, sometimes we can act a little crazy. We might be a little more eager to tussle, if you know what I mean. Now, I understand I haven't hit that age range yet, but I've done extensive research on this, and even the people closest to me I've experienced these symptoms with. So I honestly just want to take a break and let you know, nothing is wrong with you. Your body isn't fighting you. Your body is actually doing what it's naturally supposed to do. If anything is fighting you, I would say it's societal norms. But like I said before, that is a different topic for a different day. Some more important factors about what progesterone does is it supports your sleep and your mood, and it supports fat loss, as well as regulates estrogen. So let's think about this. If progesterone is going lower faster than estrogen, and it's supposed to regulate estrogen, meaning that they basically keep each other in equilibrium, if you have lower progesterone, that means that your estrogen will end up being higher than it needs to be. So that would create estrogen dominance. When estrogen is too high, that is what attributes to excess body fat. Not to be the bearer of bad news, please don't shoot the messenger. We just deserve to understand our bodies a little bit more. Let's move on to cortisol, which we've talked a little bit about before, but let's discuss what happens after our 30s with our cortisol levels. So our cortisol often increases in our 30s because, think about it, we're starting to have kids. If we don't already have kids in our 30s, your diet is usually catching up to you in your 30s. You're juggling work, kids, family. Your caffeine addiction is probably catching up to you. Your sweets, maybe cinnamon roll addiction is probably catching up to you. All of your things that have slowly been filling that cortisol bank in your 20s when you didn't really care about your health or you thought, you were gonna live forever, are starting to really pick up the pace in your 30s and start to basically tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, yeah, you're not as invincible as you thought you were. And actually, we're on the brink of shutting down. No worries, no biggie, but we might need some veggies and some protein. Maybe a little fiber, or maybe letting go of that man. But if you have a supportive man, great, keep him. He's a keeper. But if you don't, this is usually the time that people decide to break up or get divorces. Not to be the bearer of bad news, like I said, please don't shoot me. But there's a reason that there's seasons. Amen. Let's continue. So on top of your hormones doing all of this great fun stuff, you become less insulin sensitive, which basically means that you are more insulin resistant. Your cells are resisting insulin, which is a very important car that is needed for all of the metabolic processes in your body. So if the cell is resisting insulin, then you're not going to be able to process any function in your body properly. Not only fat loss, but also digestion and homeostasis and any other biological process needed for your body to function. On top of all of this good stuff, you start to have a slower metabolism, not only because of the insulin resistance, but also because of the loss of muscle. As we get older, we usually lose muscle. And the tragic thing about this is we used to think that this was because of old age, but recent studies have shown it has dip squat to do with old age, and it has everything to do with societal norms. Most people don't work out up into their 30s, into their 40s, into their 50s. Therefore, if you don't use it, you lose it. And a lot of people are losing it. And they don't understand why is my body breaking down so much? It's actually breaking down. Your muscle is actually breaking down. You're not using your muscle. And it creates almost a reverse negative effect. When you're building muscle and maintaining muscle, then you basically stay on track like this, or you go up like so with your muscle growth. What most people tend to do is they stop working out let's say around our 20s, if not in our teens. So they'll keep a little bit muscle here, but then it starts to decline. And next thing you know, in our 40s, there's a group of people that kept working out consistently and a group of people that didn't really care. And this group of people usually have more issues with chronic illnesses and just getting sick repetitively. That is because our muscle is not just to be strong and look like, firepower. It actually helps with metabolic processes. It actually helps us get healthier. It helps our immune system. It helps different biological processes that flush out toxins in our body. You know what doesn't do that? Fat. Fat doesn't help with our processes. It's just stored energy. Muscle actually has multiple functions on top of strength, and that's why it's basically the fountain of youth. And to give you even more perspective, avid smokers that have muscle mass are less likely to become chronically ill than people that don't smoke that have no muscle mass. Hopefully that puts it into perspective how immensely important it is to gain muscle and maintain muscle, especially in your 30s. I want you guys to drop a me in the comments if any of these symptoms sound like you. And let's move on to why a diet that was working in your 20s just ain't gonna cut it in your 30s. Calorie cutting is usually what people go for, and over exercising. And I don't blame you, because that was me. I was working out 6 times a week, eating like 1,500 calories, 1,400 calories. And when that wasn't working, 1,300 calories. And I was hungry, I was depressed, and guess what? I was still fat. And it's really extremely discouraging. And that's why I'm here explaining these things to you guys, because I don't want you guys to go through the things that I went through. I want you guys to be spared from the agony of learning this the hard way. So what's happening with the calorie cutting and the over exercising? Well, I already told you that in your 30s, your cortisol is rising just because lifestyle changes, and your progesterone is dropping, and your estrogen is going on a roller coaster. Some days may be good, some days may be bad. And when your estrogen is dominant, you're gonna be storing more fat. So imagine what over exercising is going to do. What naturally happens when you exercise is your cortisol levels rise. Now, if you over exercise, now your cortisol levels are doubling the rising. W. I don't think that I used that right. Double the rising, double the trouble, double the fat storage, double the stress, if you ask me. Top of the over exercising, making the cortisol even higher than it already is, making the fat storage even higher than it already is, even though the estrogen dominance is also making the fat storage even higher than it already is. The calorie cutting is also making the cortisol high because it's stressing your body out that it doesn't have the nutrients it needs. And I have to mention, our body is not a furnace. We do not have a little fire pit in our stomach, like throw the food on in there and it's just gonna burn. Let it burn. Is that a song? Let it burn. No. No, let me focus. This is not a furnace that's just burning calories. We are a quantum machine. We are a complex organism. We talk, we walk, we process, we breathe. Think about all the complex things we do without even thinking about it subconsciously. Our body has complex biological processes to do every day, and it uses the fuel that we give it to do that. We don't just drop the food like it's hot in our stomach and it just flames and now it's gone. It's best to understand that just calorie cutting is not going to cut it in your 20s. It's especially important in your 30s because you're going to stress your body out even more by depriving it of the nutrients that it needs to function correctly, as well as over exercising, doubling the trouble of the fat gain. And all this is going to lead to is stress and depression. And we don't want to stress or depress, especially after 30, because I told you we're also going to be having the mood swings. We're going to be swinging like a monkey on the moods, okay? So we don't want to make it harder on ourselves. And just cutting calories or excessively cutting calories and excessively exercising is a one-way ticket to stress, fat gain, depress, and insulin resistance land, which is the second reason why diets stop working after 30. We become very insulin resistant. Like I said before, that means we're more susceptible to gaining weight and contracting chronic illnesses according to the way that we fuel our body. And what I mean by fuel our body is not only food, but the people that we hang out with, the stress that we decide to take on, the sleep that we decide to get, the music that we listen to. All of that is a part of our diet, and it becomes more important the older that we get, especially as women. We have a completely different time clock than men. They honestly would never understand unless they did the work to at least watch some videos like this. And I could imagine some of you guys out there have been very frustrated, maybe working with male trainers and fitness and health coaches that just simply don't understand the intricacies of a woman's body. It's much more complex than the man's cycle, which is just day to day, 24 hour. We have a 28-day cycle. And once the 30s and 40s and 50s hit, it's a whole new world of confusion and mood swings. And I don't want anything to happen between you and me. So I'm telling thee. All right, I'm gonna stop breaking you guys' ears, but you get the point. So if you guys tried low calorie and it led to binging, and look, there's no judgment because I was a very bad binge eater at one point. I would eat a whole 6-pack of crumble cookies in the comfort of my home with nobody watching me. If you've been there and it made things worse, you had low energy, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I promise every single comment I read. I love you guys so much. Now, let's get into what to do instead of this foolishness. First things first is I want you guys to focus on healing your metabolism, okay? We cannot do anything with a messed up metabolism. A lot of people try to jump straight to, I'm gonna just eat exactly how I'm supposed to eat and how all the influencers eat, and I'm gonna be able to get it from there. But your metabolism is literally screaming Bloody Mary, okay? You have to heal your metabolism first and then incorporate the proper foods that'll fuel your body instead of drain your body. In order to heal your metabolism, I personally would suggest a fasting protocol. I've already created an ebook with a step-by-step 6-week plan for you guys to heal your metabolism and start this fat loss journey the right way. So go ahead and click the link in the bio if you're interested in that. And if you need even more support than that, I also offer group and one-on-one coaching so that we can make sure that you have all the resources that you need to not only reset your metabolism, not only help heal your chronic illnesses, but also help you lose that fat and get to your dream body. For number 2, I want you guys to focus on eating for hormonal balance. And what that basically means is the PFF method: protein, fiber, and fat. Healthy fat, of course. You can focus on eating lean protein, high fiber foods, and high healthy fat foods. And at the end of all that, if you need the sweet treat, if you need the carbs, save it till after you've fueled your body with the necessary things. Then your hormones will thank you, and your fat loss goals will thank you, and your health Well, thank you. For number 3, I want you guys to prioritize strength training over cardio. Like I said, in your 30s and beyond, you start to lose that muscle mass, and that is your fountain of youth. You really need that muscle mass. Therefore, strength training becomes that much more necessary and that much more important, especially if you haven't been preparing in your 20s to carry that muscle mass over into your 30s and your 40s and your 50s. Cardio is still great for cardiovascular health and is definitely a great supplement to help with fat loss, but in the long run, having more muscle mass is going to inevitably help you lose the fat faster, keep the fat off faster, and most importantly, prevent chronic illness. For number 4, you've heard it before, you're gonna keep hearing it. Go to sleep like your life depends on it. Quality sleep is imperative. It's imperative. I want you guys to really understand, like, it's really important. And I understand if you have children, if you have a toddler, I have a toddler myself. Jace.
If I'm in the video, can I have one?
Let's talk about that later. Okay, you see, I got my own little rascal, my own little sleep depriver / cortisol spiker myself. So I completely understand. Say, hey, cortisol spiker. All right, can you put your feet on the ground, please? Jake. So the beautiful thing about the cortisol spikers is they also are dopamine and serotonin spikers. That's how they get you, you know. They spike all the things. Crock pot of emotions.
My little mommy.
I love you. I'm not little.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Jason. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. First they're sour, then they're sweet. I just wanted to make it clear that I get it. And he's been wearing that Power Ranger costume for the last 2 months to sleep. And you know what I'm doing? I'm gonna just let it happen, because I'm also doing what the next thing is, which is regulating my stress, okay? Which is also what you guys should be doing. It's some battles that are just not meant to be fought. And if they are meant to be fought, they're not meant to be fought by you, mama. Not by you. You've done enough. Quality sleep and regulating stress is going to be very much key, very much important. And I know you already know this, so I'm just here to really hammer in the importance. Really hold your hand when I say this. It matters. You matter. I see you. No, it's not easy. Yes, it's worth it. Yes, you're worth it. No, you ain't perfect, but you're always worth it, girl. And I love y'all. That got kind of deep, honey. So yes, mama, if you're serious about insulin resistance and burning fat over 30, go ahead and click the link in my bio and grab the 6-week transformation ebook, where I break down everything you need to do to reverse that insulin and lose that belly fat for good. And if you know you need that support and accountability, go ahead and schedule a call with me so I can work with you one-on-one or in a group personally every step of the way, so that we can guarantee your results in the next 60 to 90 days and sustaining those results, where you'll have more energy, less belly fat, and more clarity about your health and your fitness. And you don't have to do any of the work but showing up and executing. I've made sure the workouts are quick and efficient. The daily habits are something that's easy to implement, even if you're a busy mom, and the results are sustainable. You deserve more energy. You deserve sustainable fat loss. You deserve metabolic health. And all in all, you deserve the education and empowerment to take back control of your health and your fitness. And it is my honor to help you every step of the way. I want you guys to know your body is not broken. It's just been misunderstood this entire time. And we're putting an end to that misunderstanding, one video at a time, one concept at a time, and one step at a time. It's not about making huge changes every day. It's really about becoming 1% better every day. If you guys are loving this video, then you'll definitely love this video here, where I go into a deep dive of why cortisol is actually causing you to store belly fat. And I want to say a huge thank you for 1,000 new beautiful faces here, 1,000 new subscribers. I am so blessed and highly favored to be here with you guys and to share this information, you guys. I read every comment. I love every single one of you guys. And I'm on a mission to get this information to 1 million people, because you guys deserve it. From the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful to be here on this journey with y'all. And don't forget, I believe in you. Do you?